Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Delgado with your Fox 5 weather forecast. Well, hopefully you guys are enjoying your Saturday. It certainly is a hot one out there. As we look at our weather headlines, we're going to be looking at hit or miss storms as we go through tonight as well as tomorrow. In fact, we actually have our severe weather threat up higher than it was initially going to be for today. We are now in a slight risk for severe storms, and then for tomorrow, some really big heat on the way. We have a heat advisory that goes into effect tomorrow at 12 o'clock, but relief is coming this week. It is certainly going to have a fall-like feel coming. Everybody is going to enjoy this nice little bit of a cool down. We just have to get through the next couple days. Here's a view outside. This is out in Gaithersburg. Here's a camera we love to take a look at. It's showing you where the clouds are right now, and of course we have a bit of haze in the sky, but it has certainly been a warm day. As we look at the temperatures right now out at the airport, the temperature 89 degrees out at Reagan, Dulles 86, and BWI 87. All airports are dry, but we are seeing a little bit of development on the radar across parts of the DC area. I'm looking at our cameras right now out at the wharf, looking at the Capitol wheel, and I can certainly see those clouds getting a little bit darker there. And of course, we'll be showing you that on the radar in just a moment. But right now, dry at all three airports, but it is hot, hot, hot. The number right now, 89 degrees in D.C., lower 90s down towards the south. The southern portions of Virginia have already been in a heat advisory for today, but look at that number, 93 degrees in Fredericksburg and then 81 degrees in Martinsburg. There's been some rain to the north and west, and that has cooled things off. So we look at our dew points right now, and then we talk about what the dew points mean and how much moisture there is in the air. That shows you it is pretty sweaty outside. Look at this dew point in Gaithersburg. That is insane, really high. We're looking at a dew point of 80. And when you talk about something like that, that's something you see typically for parts of the Midwest, say during the growing season, when you get that sweaty corn. That's when you see that happening in the fields. Pretty unusual for Gaithersburg to be that hot right now. So we look at that dew point, 80 degrees. That is a high dew point, 74 in Quantico. Normally we hang out in the 60s, really anything above 63, 65. People in the DMV, we complain about it. But if you live down in the south, if you live out in the Midwest, in the plains, ooh, it gets soupy there. So you don't know humidity until you leave DC. All right. What does it feel like right now? It feels like 101 in Fredericksburg. It feels like 97 in Gaithersburg and 96 degrees in Frederick. Now, what this means with these high dew points, the amount of moisture in the air, anytime we get some of these storms out that pop up, it's going to lay down some very heavy rainfall. So that is why any storms that we do see develop for today, we do have that potential for some isolated flash flooding. Now, I know last Saturday was a really epic day for parts of Montgomery County, especially in Silver Spring as well as Tacoma Park, where they saw anywhere between 3 to 5.5 inches of rainfall. The numbers right now are actually cooler than they were this time yesterday. 5 degrees cooler in D.C., 10 to 14 degrees cooler in Hagerstown and Martinsburg because they've had the clouds and they've had the rain around. But let's look at the numbers. So we're complaining about our number, 89 degrees in D.C. Nope, look at Nashville. 93 degrees is the actual temperature there. That heat right now across parts of Texas, Houston, you're not so bad in comparison to Amarillo, as well as out in Dallas. And then Wichita right now, it is 92 degrees. So it's pretty hot out all across parts of the U.S. When we look at areas like now, like in St. Louis, with that temperature of 93 degrees, they have a heat index right now of 105. So like I said, you go to the Midwest, you go to the South, that's where it is really hot. So we zoom in right now to our radar. As I was saying, it's been pretty quiet. We can still see some more storms popping up. We got those clouds rolling in pretty early ahead of those storms that were firing up across parts of Pennsylvania. But we look right around I-81. You can see there's one area where we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. That is near Harrisonburg. We zoom into D.C. proper and some rain near the Mount Vernon area, but we're trying to get a little cell. Looks like it was trying to develop, and now it's more on the northern fringe of 66. This is north of Bailey's Crossing, just to the south of McLean. Some pretty healthy rainfall coming down there. This is between 267 from Devon Park into Berkshire. and then moving up towards the Walker Chapel. So you can see it looked a little bit better when I walked over here, but now it looks like that southern fringe is a little bit weaker, but we're still watching what's basically just to the north of 7. So I'm going to widen this out a bit more, take a look at the radar. Again, there's that warning. In fact, it just was it looks like it's been lifted early for the one that was in Madison, Rappahannock. I know that's outside our viewing area, but certainly very close to the Culpeper region. You can see how this was originally going to last until 5:30, but it's kind of rained itself out. Still looking at about 50 lightning strikes. Wider view, clouds are in place. We've had this cluster of thunderstorms that developed, as I said, across parts of Pennsylvania, and you can see where all those clouds are just right in that deck. So that right now is kind of helping us limit what's the activity. But as we look ahead for this weekend, it's going to get even warmer out there. Tomorrow we are expecting a high of 93 degrees. I may even be a little low, but we're going to go with 93 for tomorrow. Hot and humid with that afternoon heating. We will still see some more storms popping up. These are going to be in the afternoon, so if you got plans, get up early, do them, and then just really just kind of watch the sky. And of course, when you start to see those clouds building up, take a look at that Fox 5 weather app, and you will be able to track those storms. All right, so here is our planner ahead for tonight. It's picking up some storms right around the 6 o'clock hour, and then after that, things will really die down. Doesn't mean we won't see a stray shower or thunderstorm later on. The better timing is going to be early on with this afternoon heating. And then tomorrow morning, partly cloudy skies. And then for your Saturday, as I mentioned to you, we have been increased into the slight risk category. Earlier, we were in the marginal risk. So it's for DC as well as Baltimore and closer to that Pennsylvania line, also including parts of Hagerstown. Areas down towards the south like Charles and St. Mary's, you're not so much in that slight risk category. You're still hanging out in the marginal risk. So here's our Futurecast. We started off 5 o'clock right now. I would say it's close to verifying. Not much activity. As I put this into motion, we go from 5, 6:37. It looks like we could get some storms later on after about, I'd say, midnight. This is what the model is picking up. And then in the morning, you wake up to sunshine, and then we'll see more storms coming in the afternoon. It looks like a line of storms trying to fire up closer to about 2:30 in the afternoon. And for tomorrow, we are in the marginal risk category for storms. But then I play this. Maybe a stray shower or thunderstorm later into the evening. Monday morning, you're going to wake up to mostly clear skies, and then a few pop-ups possible, but it looks like mainly it's going to be out to the far northwest. So again, that gives you an idea what's going on. So for tonight, a warm and sweaty night. Turn on the AC. Overnight low, 78 degrees. And then we look ahead for areas like Frederick, 74 degrees. But as we look ahead for the next couple of days, those temperatures are going to be close to 80 degrees for the overnight lows. And when you see these overnight lows being so warm at night, it's harder on the body, puts more stress. You can't cool off, especially with the hot temperatures we're expecting, because these numbers are going to be close to 100 degrees for the actual temperature coming up for this week. So this is not bad, but the heat dome is going to be building and moving right on top of us. So we look at the high temperatures for tomorrow. DC 93, Leonardtown looking a high of 92 for you. La Plata dodging some storms around, and same for Colonial Beach. Now we go to the mountains. You want to get some relief from the heat. Well, tell you what, you can save your gas because it's only going to just be a couple degrees cooler there. I wouldn't say it's going to be significant. Cumberland, the cooler spot with 88 degrees, but 89 in Winchester, and then 92 in Frederick. So we look at our heat advisories. These are going to be in effect for tomorrow. They start at noon and they run until 8 o'clock at night. It's going to feel like 105 to 110, I would even say. I like to keep the numbers even there, but again, we are in that heat advisory for DC. I wouldn't be surprised maybe some of those other counties try to creep into it, but look at this, St. Mary's, Charles, Fairfax, as well as Culpeper will be in this. We look at our future heat index and what it's going to feel like. Sunday morning, 85 degrees to start your day. Then we go into the afternoon. It's going to feel like about 105. This will be closer to about 3. It's starting to drop off because the model's trying to calculate those